Back once again for our Friday morning tradition. It's Justin Andrews of News Channel 10. Justin, we got a big one this weekend in the ECAC, a big one here locally. We're talking RPI-Union, the Mayor's Cup revisited tomorrow night at the Times Union Center. You'll be there. Justin, thanks for being with us. How excited are you for the game?
Thanks, Ray, for having me again. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. It seems like these two teams are going on different paths like they were last year. Last year, you saw Union coming into this game. They're riding high, they had a couple win streaks already and were, I believe, second or third in the country. And then RPI was kind of on the downswing. They're kind of towards the bottom third of the ECAC. And then after this win, RPI got a couple of wins that kind of catapult them to host a playoff game. And after the loss, you saw Union just go on this tear where it just seemed from February all the way to April that they just rolled right over the competition to the national championship. But I think I'm very excited. It should be a very entertaining game for sure, especially after last year's, fight with 1.2 seconds left in the game where you saw Coach Rick Bennett get suspended. You saw Coach Seth Apper and a number of players get suspended as well. You can tell the players are very passionate about this. They care about it because they're playing their hated rival in probably one of the biggest arenas that either team will probably play in this year.
You became a YouTube sensation after that melee. You got it on video and got over 10,000 views. Am I mistaken?
Not 10,000. You're a little off. Last time I checked, it was over 200,000 views. But
200,000?
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous because I'm trying to think of it here. Yahoo Sports picked it up. You name it, anyone picked it up, and it just became like a viral trend. And I believe I tweeted it at John Buchagross, and after that, I think Twitter broke on my phone. But I was there because it was a great game for work. The fight just happened, and I just happened to hit record. Obviously not happened to hit record, but recorded the whole thing. But when you look at it, these are guys that cared. They were passionate, and they're playing their bitter rival for a third time this year. They're getting sick and tired of seeing them. So you had to know that there's a tipping point at one point where they were just going to be like, all right, let's drop the gloves and just see what happens.
I didn't mean to shortchange you. Justin Andrews, News Channel 10, RPI-Union coming up tomorrow. Justin, RPI, as you mentioned, on the uptick. They're tied for third in the ECAC. Union on the downslide, now ninth. What's gone wrong for the Dutchmen? They won the national title last year, Justin.
It's hard to tell, but, at times they looked really great against Colgate when I was at that game, but then it just seemed to be as usual. Remember from our days in covering hockey, Brady, the second period is always the worst. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
So it just seemed the second period they didn't click at all, and Colgate scored five goals to Union's 2 the rest of the game from the second period on. But you can tell that they're missing defensive standouts and stalwarts that were on the team last year. Matt Bodie graduated. Matt Hatch was a great two-way forward who could play defense very well on the forward position. And obviously, everyone knows the big name, Shane Gostisbehere, playing for the Lehigh, I believe, Phantoms in the AHL. But he tore his ACL a few months ago and is out for the year. But they're missing those guys for sure. And it just seems Colin Stevens is not the same person as he was last year.
What's amazed me about RPI, Justin, is that they're under 500 by a wide margin, 9-16 and 1 officially for the Engineers. They've challenged themselves out of conference. They've played well in conference. Do you think that out-of-conference schedule is more them challenging themselves for in-conference play, or are they just slipping up when the games aren't played in the league?
To compare for people who are college basketball fans, it's like saying UAlbany playing 10 top 25 teams in the country in their schedule and, winning a couple but also losing a bunch. That's what RPI has been doing. They played a lot of great teams early on in this year in their non-conference schedule. They competed hard with them all, no doubt about that. Seth Apper gets those guys ready. But I feel like when he did this, he got the guys ready to go play tough conference games, going to play Union a couple times where they beat them and they swept them, and now they're on a 3-game win streak against them. Playing against Cornell and Colgate, getting the weekend sweep there. Quinnipiac has just been on a tear, but, it's been pretty hard to beat them regardless. But you have to be impressed with what they're doing in conference play because the whole non-conference schedule shaped them up to be good when it matters most.
They beat Notre Dame earlier in the season on their opening night. Justin Andrews, News Channel 10, will get you out of here on this. If you had to point one key to the game, what's it going to be tomorrow night?
I'm going to have to say it's goaltending. I mean, it depends on who starts for Union, whether it's Colin Stevens or his backup where they've alternated games. I mean, Colin played great the other night, but you can't fault him on a few of those goals. And our RPI has just had a great job on the goaltending side from, I believe it's Del Greco, who's just been great in net for them for the last few games. He's gotten help from his defensive partners in front and also from his forwards who are starting to score some more goals for him as well. But I think that's what it's going to come down to. And, you know, whether Union's defense decides to play like they did in the national title game and in the Frozen Four, or if RPI just keeps continuing to roll with the punches here.
Justin Andrews, News Channel 10, thanks for being with us. We'll do it again next Friday.
All right, sounds good.
Have fun at the game, buddy.